So we're here with the team from all of you. Thank you so much for all being here. The film is in the sort of tradition of kind of will they, won't they rom-coms. Imogene, do you have a favorite rom-com, or was there a movie that like you were thinking of as you were working on this?
Oh, well, my favorite rom-com of all time is Heartburn, if you can call it a rom-com. I think you can, with Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson. That's my favorite. I really do like Mike Nicholas's movies very much, all the romantic ones. Also, Falling in Love. Have you seen that with Robert De Niro and Meryl Streep? Me on the Train. Love that one. So those are my favorite ones. But in terms of making this, it actually felt very inventive to me and very original, and sort of in terms of romantic dramas in the last few years. It felt like something new and exciting, the way it worked with time and their friendship and all those things. So yeah, I loved it.
Brett, William, did the two of you have any specific like rom-coms or movies as like references or influences as you were writing and working on this?
I don't think consciously. I don't think we were like, oh, let's kind of take something from this or what happens in this. But I think probably looking back, one of my favourite films, rom-coms, is When Harry Met Sally. I watched it every New Year's Eve with my wife. And I think probably the idea of moving through a relationship through time is probably there as a kind of as a reference. But I don't think we ever really.
No, I think When Harry Met Sally is the closest sort of reference, because it's about very close friends, and but this is a very different tonally, but certainly in the world of that.
I know the movie has such an unusual structure. In some ways, I'm almost reluctant to try to describe it because I feel like I'm gonna mess it up. Like it is linear, but there are these sort of time jumps that happen.
Yeah, what you're seeing in the film is all the times that we're together. So it's like the bits in a lot of films where it's like they're apart and they miss each other and they're this and that. It's like all we're seeing is the bits when they're together. And sometimes there might be a gap of 2 years before they see each other again, and that's the next scene that you see. So you as an audience are always playing detective, like, what have we missed? Because we don't see them apart. We don't see what the rest of their lives are like.
And where did that idea come from?
I think it just came from, well, we'd already made a short film that basically is about 15 years ago, that is the template of the opening section of the movie. And I just think over the course of time, once we'd made the short film, we've been talking about those characters so much over the years that became the structure. We just thought, what would happen if they met up a few years later and this happened? And what happens if we moved through and this happened? And it was just talking about the characters, about when they would meet up throughout their life, was really the thing that dictated those jumps in time. So we let the characters lead the way with those jumps.
One of the things about... Sorry.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm done. You've interrupted now. Say your piece.
And this has the part of the idea of the film, which is about soulmates versus choice, like destiny versus choice, and one of the things it is about is history, shared history with someone. Like, these two characters have been friends since university. They've known each other for so many years, and the woman, the man that she marries, hasn't known that long, and that is her soulmate. That's who she's destined to be with. But what does that leave this then? And I think the scope of the film allows us to explore all of that. That makes sense?
Yeah. And Imogene, what did that read like when you first got sent the script? Like, what did you make of those time jumps?
I loved it. It felt very heightened in that way, sort of a romance that suddenly becomes so epic if you're only seeing those moments, which I think Will managed to often make so stylized, which was so cool once I saw the film. But I think those interstitial parts that, you don't necessarily need those, because when you see these characters meet one another again, like it's such the magnetization of their dynamic is so cool, that I think that was there on the page, and sort of I think it helps propel the story as well, and added a sense of a real pace to the story. And I thought it was really cool and unusual.
And Brett, as you mentioned, the film has this idea of soulmates, that there's a company you go to that will find you
there's a test that exists in the world that will 100% matches you with your soulmate. But the idea even of that can be replaced by whatever you want. Like it could be religion, it could be God, it could be destiny, whatever people talk about when they talk about love. I was meant to be with you. It's like, it's that versus I built a thing with you over a very long period of time, and it was a choice.
Well, it is. I don't think it's a spoiler. I think it's such a wonderful joke in the movie that like you say soulmate and you sort of assume it's like someone who is near you, and the idea that like you might live in England and your soulmate's in Argentina is like it's a trickier proposition than you think.
Yeah.
It's very inconvenient. Yeah.
And I guess is that something you believe in? This idea of a soulmate?
Personally, I change my mind all the time, to be honest. We've thought about this for so long, we've talked about it, and ask me on a different day and I'll say yes and no. I definitely do believe that there are people that you meet in your life that you have known before and that you feel it. I'm sure we've all had that experience when you meet someone, you're like, this is something we've been here before or whatever that is. So I definitely believe in some version of it.
Well, I believe in it. I think it's a really wonderful idea, and I think it's true. You meet someone at in a period of your life, and they inform who you become, or maybe inform your interests, your tastes, or the way that you see the world. And I think it opens up your world. So I think all of that to me is what a soulmate is. To maybe through time with someone. But yeah, I do believe in it. It's really corny and wonderful.
I mean, where did you sort of start on the idea? Like when you set out writing, did you have one idea and have you like changed your mind about it?
I think if you'd have asked me, I've known my wife for 25 years now. We weren't always married over that time, but I've known her for a long period of time. And I think there's a difference between asking me that question at the beginning of our relationship and at the end. And I think looking back, I would say, yes, I probably do believe in the idea of a soulmate, whatever that really means. But that time spent with each other and everything that we've been through has created more meaning to the relationship. Because so I guess that means she's my soulmate. But, what do I win?
I don't know, Imogene, if such a test existed, would you take it?
Oh gosh, hadn't even considered this question, which was kind of crazy.
You're the first person to ask that.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Now that you've asked it, I'm like, why hasn't everyone asked us this?
Yeah.
But I'm glad they haven't.
I probably would. Yes,
No, why?
because it would be really nice. Because it would be cool to see who that. Maybe it would be cool to see who it was rather than who I think it. The ingredients of a person I would think it should be. But it kind of feels like going to the moon to me. Like it's sort of, if you go to the moon, you could die and never come back, but you get to see the moon. So I feel somehow, does this make sense? I feel somehow I would do it just out of curiosity. I couldn't not find out who it was.
And William, where do you think you fall on that? Would you take it?
I wouldn't take it now, no. But I think it's that thing of like, for some people, it is the absolute answer to your problems, right? If you're in a certain part of your life, if you've had relationships that haven't worked, you're ready to settle down, you don't want to have to go through the problems of dating, then it's perfect for you, right? So it would answer all your problems. But if you've been married for a long time and it comes out during that, it's not the answer for you, because it doesn't necessarily mean you'll be happy. So does true love, being truly in love, mean you'll be truly happy? And I think sometimes people mistake true love for that idea of, I'll just be happy then. And I don't think that's the case.
The thing that we're always thinking about with this idea is that people don't fix each other. You know, they might be your perfect person, but it doesn't mean your issues go away. Like, you still have to work on yourself. It isn't like, I found the person, so I can relax now and I'm absolutely fine and have no baggage and everything's cool. Like, so I think that's it. She says in the film, I'm still me.
Mm-hmm. I do feel bad for the actor who plays your soulmate in the movie, because like no one is rooting for that guy.
Oh, really?
He was.
We love
Actually,
Stephen
he's
Creed.
great.
I
I'm
know.
rooting for him. I think he's so lovely in it. You're like, I get why she's with him.
It's complicated how you end up rooting for people making choices that are apparently unethical or bad, and that relatability is the real sort of, oh my goodness, they sort of get you. It's what you were saying to me the other day, something get you in that corner. So yeah, I can see how it's weird how somebody can accidentally like become a villain or something. Just a good guy.
And Brett, you keep writing yourself these sort of reluctant romantic hero parts. I think at this point we can all confirm you're just like a romantic guy.
Go on.
Jury's out.
Admit it, Brett.
inside, under it, under
A big black rock.
under the big black rock that is my true feelings. Yeah, I mean, it's much easier to write about than it is to allow. Good night. I'm a cynical romantic, I suppose.
What does that mean?
It means that I'm like, yeah, fuck this, but I'm also like, and it's beautiful never tell forever.
And now I'm legally obligated. Recently there was news about the new season of Ted Lasso. Is there anything you can tell us? Like, has writing begun?
To play.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I think we all feel that as well.
Terrific.